Candace Corcoran. I've been doing the microcurrent testing all day, something you might want to check out. But we're going to be talking about the GI-Candida connection. We're going to look at digestion, because overall health begins in the digestive tract. If you have poor digestion, it compromises other aspects of your health, because the food that your body digests is what provides the fuel for your body processes, your organs, and all your systems throughout your body. The GI tract is the first line of defense, so whenever your immune system's down, your GI tract can help. If you have a good GI tract, it can help rebuild your immune system. Or if you have a poor GI tract, that's something that you want to rebuild, and that will also build up your immune health. There's two types of digestion issues. You can have an upset stomach, irregular bowel movements, just kind of an achy stomach, and that's symptoms that you'll notice internally. But you can also notice external symptoms where you may notice things on your skin, flaky skin. You can have psoriasis, or you may have a fingernail infection, some fungus underneath your nails, on your fingers or on your toes. So like skin irritations, external things that you'll be able to notice. So the three keys of digestion are absorption, assimilation, and elimination. Absorption is when your food passes into the intestines, into your bloodstream, and your body begins to absorb what you put in. And assimilation is when nutrients enter your cell, so you're absorbing the nutrients. And then the elimination is whenever the waste comes out of your body. The components of digestion are your digestive tract and your digestive system. The digestive tract, you can see, kind of follows in this picture. It begins in your mouth. Digestion begins in your mouth because you have enzymes in your mouth that will start to break down and digest food. So that begins in your mouth, and it'll go down your esophagus. There's also enzymes there that will break down food as well into your stomach, and it goes into both intestines, the small intestine and the large intestine. Then the elimination will come out, the rectum and the anus, and that's the digestive tract. And the digestive system is your salivary glands in your mouth, the pancreas, which will absorb and break down food as well, your liver, and your gallbladder. So you have your digestive tract and your digestive system. So what we want to highlight to help a Candida issue is our Nutritional Frontiers products. The big one is Candy Kill, which is a newer product we have, just came out this year. So we used to have about 4 products that would also be on here, but Candy Kill has created those into one, and we have all these awesome ingredients that we've put together to create Candy Kill. We also have our Saccharomyces boulardii capsules, our SBC Extra Strength. That will help bring back the microbial balance in your gut. And we have the Microgon tincture, which helps fight GI infections. And we have the lymphatic tincture, which your lymph system's throughout your body, so it just helps drain any Candida infection that you may have throughout your body. So Candida, it's not always a bad thing. Everybody has Candida in their stomach. Candida becomes an issue whenever there's an overgrowth of it, and your bad bacteria just gets out of control, overtakes the good bacteria. So it could be an imbalance of not enough good bacteria or too much bad bacteria. So whenever the yeast grows out of control, that's whenever you can have all these health problems. And there's many causes of Candida. The standard American diet, which we call SAD, which it's what it is. It's pretty sad these days. You know, all the fast food, all the sugar, all the refined carbs we're putting into our bodies, it's creating all these problems. And on top of that, we have all this antibiotic use. Everyone's on antibiotics over and over for all different problems. Antibiotics seem to, what they say, help everything, but it's causing all these additional problems. A parasitic infection can cause Candida, HIV, uncontrolled diabetes, where your blood sugar's out of balance, so your body's craving that sugar if you have a Candida infection. birth control for over 6 months. No one should ever use birth control for more than 6 months because then it creates problems like this, and there's other problems it can create. Steroid use can also cause a Candida infection. Any type of medication for ulcers, which if you have a Candida infection, you can have ulcers like ulcerative colitis, things like that. So if you're on medication for that, could actually be making those ulcers worse. And if you smoke and just things like that that you are probably already aware of that aren't good for your health, that can cause a Candida infection. So those are some of the causes. Some of the symptoms you may start to notice, like I said, the skin and inside, you'll have chronic digestive problems, you'll be bloated, brain fog, you might forget, have memory issues, learning problems, all sorts of problems with learning. You may have some diarrhea, irritable bowel issues, and you can have itching and burning. Along with those, women may experience excessive vaginal yeast infections, other sorts of female disorders, loss of libido, depression and agitation. Your mood just won't seem right. You won't be yourself, and you may be sensitive to chemicals, perfumes, or cleaning products may really irritate you. Also, like I said, the nail infections along with the skin infections. So like we talked about the SAD diet, the Candida diet, that's definitely not on there. So one of the most important parts of treatment is the diet. It's what you're putting into your body. So you want to be really strict with your diet for the first month or two. You don't want to have any sugars, no fruit. You may think fruit's good for you, but it's full of sugar. So on the Candida diet, you really don't want to have any fruit. No alcohol, syrup, honey, all of those are loaded with sugars. Any sweet foods, pickled foods with that vinegar in it, that's fermented, it's going to upset the Candida. And it's also a low carb, low yeast diet. And you don't want to eat any foods that are any leftovers 2 days older, because that will grow bad bacteria in it, and that's what you don't want to have in your stomach. So for the first month or two, those are the things you want to avoid. After that, it gets less strict, but if you follow this for the first couple months that you're supposed to, after that, you will be able to have fruit and you will be able to have those sugars. So if you follow it, then it will go away, and then it's something that you won't be, sensitive to forever. So that's a good thing. So Candy Kill, like I said, it used to be in about 4 bottles. We've come up with a formula to make it into this one great product. So we've had it for a short period of time, only a couple months, but in that time we've had good feedback from them because the ingredients in it are really good at treating Candida infections. The first ingredient in Candy Kill is berberine. It's an alkaloid, and it comes from plants with that yellow root, so that's what's going to give the Candy Kill its strong yellow color. It's antifungal, antibacterial, antimicrobial, which is what you want to fight off that Candida infection. And it has a broad spectrum of those, so it covers all types of Candida infections. There's a couple different kinds. It works to kill off bad bugs. It reduces blood sugar, so it will help with, it will reduce cravings that you have for sugar, which sugar feeds Candida, so it will reduce those cravings and help you avoid that Candida infection. It also works in antifungal resistant cases. You may be aware of that if you've been on an antibiotic for a period of time, you may be antibiotic resistant. So that is also true in the case that some people become antifungal resistant. So berberine also works in cases where you're antifungal resistant, so it will even work in those situations where you may know where some products may not work anymore. The berberine works in those situations. Also, if you have to be on a pharmaceutical antifungal, it will increase the effects of that as well. The second ingredient in Candy Kill is caprylic acid. It's commonly in natural antifungals. It's effective against two types of candidiasis, Candida albicans and oral candidiasis. The Candida albicans are what is found in your gut, and the oral candidiasis is something you may have seen in children where they get thrush. Their tongue turns white, and you can notice an oral infection in them. I actually had some sort of thrush a few months ago. It was back in December, and my lips were splitting on one side, and it was very dry, and I thought it might have been because of the cold months. But I went to a family friend doctor who said it was Perlitzi, it was this Candida infection, and I needed this over-the-counter cream for it that had chemicals in it and everything, but I used it, and I noticed it did help a little bit, but what helped the most was what I did internally. It was a time where I had 3 practices a day, so I was eating well, exercising, and sleeping enough. I was getting a lot of sleep during the night because I was exhausted at the end of the day. So when I changed my lifestyle, changed my diet, that's what helped my thrush situation go away the best. So that's what caprylic acid is good for. Next we have olive leaf extract. It's an herb extracted from a leaf that is commonly used to treat many conditions of Candida. It's antifungal, antibacterial, antimicrobial, and it also has antioxidants, which also prevent or delay cell damages. So if you get that in there early, then it will help to prevent a deeper Candida infection. Next is grapefruit seed extract. It helps fight Candida infections because it's a very potent antifungal. We also have oregano, which it comes in an oil form for external topical use or internal use. So we have it in here because it's been shown to help internally. And it's usually left out of internal Candida remedies because people think they just use it externally, but we found a way to get it into our capsules, so it's great that we have that inside our Candy Kill. Next we have garlic, which I think is basic yet one of the best preventions and to be an infection fighter. Many times, if you have a cold or if you're not feeling well, if you chew on some garlic, it boosts your immune system up a little bit and you'll feel a little better. So it also works in the sense of Candida. So if you have a Candida issue, garlic helps with that. And it goes back to Bible times. Like I said, it's very common. It's been around for a while. But today's research confirms that even all the traditional research is true for it being a good infection fighter. We have tea tree extract. It's pretty similar. Tea tree and the thyme extract are pretty similar to the oregano oil and the grapefruit seed extract, with them being essential oils, as well as us being able to put them into our Candy Kill capsules. Another product we have is Paracleanse, which if you look at the ingredients, it's pretty similar to what we have in Candy Kill. So it has the grapefruit seed extract, the oil extracts are in there, but we also have some additional ingredients in these as well that help the body in eliminating unwanted organisms. And it helps promote detoxification, so that's good in getting out the bad bugs that you might have with a Candida infection. The first ingredient we have in the microgon tincture, it's tested to be as potent as ketoconazole, which is a commercial antifungal medicine. So this is good that it's a natural medicine that can be comparable to ones that's in creams and shampoos, oral forms of a medication, and tablets. So we have this in our product, so It's just as potent as what you may see is over the counter, but it's a natural form. We also have echinacea, which that's kind of similar to the garlic, where it's just a good infection fighter. You see olive leaf extract in the microgon tincture, as well as we had it in the candy kill. And also in the microgon tincture, we have the lotomedium root, which is a good infection fighter, and also the cat's claw bark, which is a popular herb. It's good for digestive disorders. Like if you have issues in your GI tract, this will help clear those up. Swelling and pains in the intestines, and also stomach ulcers, which are all symptoms of a Candida infection. So the cat's claw bark is a really good ingredient in the microgon tincture. Next we have the SBC, the Saccharomyces boulardii capsules. It treats the bad microorganisms, the bad bacteria, any of the overgrowth of the bad bacteria you may have in your GI tract. It adheres to the intestinal wall tract, and it attaches to the two most common forms of bacteria that you may have that might give you diarrhea or a Candida infection, and those bad bacteria stick to the SBC and it flushes out during a bowel movement. So that SBC will be really good in getting rid of the bad bacteria that you'll have with a Candida infection. Next is the lymphatic tincture. It works well because the dosing is very easy. The lymphatic tincture just drains your lymph system, which is good. Kind of like the SBC, it just kind of flushes out the bad bugs. The ingredients contain gallium, which helps with swollen glands that you might have anywhere, like especially in your tonsils. So if you have any bad bacteria in there, it will help to flush those out. The red clover helps with the upper area of your body to help flush that out. The flowering tops and the calendula flower help with the lower area of the body. And the iris flower is a granular alternative. So instead of it being in a pill form, we were able to get that in the liquid form. So some other supplements on top of the Candy Kill, the SBC, and the tinctures are Betazyme or the GI Complete, which help to get the good probiotics and enzymes back into the GI tract. Also, we have probiotics. The Frontier Biotics are a good basic probiotic to have. If you don't have any issues going on, the Frontier Biotics will be a good preventative measure. We also have the Superbiotics, where if your Candida infection causes Crohn's or colitis or a serious condition, then you want to have the Superbiotics to get the most powerful probiotics back into your gut. We also have Cybezyme and Probezyme, which have digestive enzymes and probiotics. They help repopulate the gut with the good bacteria. We also have Control, which will help with the powerful sugar cravings you'll notice with a Candida infection because of your blood sugar imbalance, and it will help to stop those sugar cravings. And for adrenal support, we have the Adrenal Tincture and the Adrenamax 2, which those are important to have along with a Candida infection. It just helps break down the bad bacteria as well. You'll see in here some more helpful resources, and also in the handout I gave, you'll see the GI Solutions, which focuses on the GI tract. You'll see the GI Complete in there, and how to populate your gut with good bacteria. And in the Candida Solutions, we talked a little bit about diet, but this gives a good guidelines on what foods are safe to have and what foods you should avoid, especially in that first month, second month, and what's more lenient after that. But as a recap, we had Candy Kill, SBC. You're going to want a probiotic to help repopulate your stomach with the good bacteria, and the microgon tincture and the lymphatic tincture is a drainage to get the bad bacteria out of your stomach. So that's the GI and Candida solutions. Do I have any questions? Okay, well, thank you all for joining me.